Good morning and welcome to the Soulution Live Show. I'm your host, Jody, Almond, and this is the show where we take you from struggle to success so that you can live the rest of your life as the best of your life. And today I'm excited about this topic we're going to talk about because I want to give you one of the number one success tips that there are out there. And this one's huge. Now, let me prelude this with a story of a client I'm working with who's a huge social media influencer and doing a lot of great things through social media to impact, influence her world. But with that, she was telling me about a person she came across who had reached out to her because this particular person has been on TV several times as well on different segments of Dr. Oz and different programs. And so as we're working together, we share stories. And she was telling me that she had someone who recently came to her and said, "Hey, can you get me on TV?" She said, "Well, that's really not what I'm in the field of doing, but I'll be sure to keep my ears open, my eyes open, and do what I can to help you land a spot on TV where I can." Later that day, she happened to be in the new Clubhouse app and she found a room where there was a lot of TV execs and producers that were looking for people to be on TV. So she reached out to this young lady and she said, "Hey, you want to jump in Clubhouse real quick?" And the girl's like, "Well, I don't have a Clubhouse app." She said, "Hurry and make one because you want to get in here. This is a great opportunity for you." The next morning, the young lady got a hold of my friend who's the influencer, and she said, "Hey, I got into Clubhouse this morning. I'm ready if they do another room." And she told me, she said, "Jody, the thing is I was thinking you could have wasted your opportunity." And today I want to talk to you about something familiar to all of us that if we can implement this one strategy, you can find great success in your life. I promise you. You see, Nike put it like this. They said, "Just do it." And I don't know if you've ever heard of the 80-20 rule, but the 80-20 rule says 80% of your results in your life will come from 20% of your activities. That's in your day, in your month, in your year, and in your life. And both of those, Nike Just Do It and the 80-20 rule, they both equate to taking action. And you want to know the number one secret success tip? It's taking action. Because we all have ideas. We all have grand dreams. But what is the difference between a dreamer and a doer? It's taking action. You see, I want to share with you 3 concepts about action this morning and try to empower you so that you can find success and quit struggling in your life, in your business, in your faith, whatever it may be. The first one is action is a muscle. I want you to think about action as a muscle. Compare it to working out. You think about this, I could say I've got 24-inch biceps, but that's a lie. The only way I'm going to get 24-inch biceps is to most definitely go to the gym every day and work out. I have to exercise and take that action to exercise to make myself healthier, to make myself stronger, to make myself better. The question I have for you today is, how much have you worked out your dream, your vision that is inside of you? How much have you worked it the last week, the last month, the last 90 days, this year? How much have you worked your dream? Because it's like a muscle. You have to work it. You have to take action and work it. Work is action. How much are you working your vision? How much are you working your dream? This is what causes dreams to die. It's like muscle atrophy. If you lie and don't do anything for long enough, your muscles in your legs will become so weak that you can't walk. I've seen this happen. After a short time, we think years. No, after like 30 to 45 days of lying in bed with no activity, no getting up, your muscles become very weak and you can't walk. It's called muscle atrophy. How many of us are having muscle atrophy when it comes to our action? Let me ask you this. How many books have you read on where you're trying to go? How many hours of research have you done about the topic your dream is included and involved in? How many people have you talked to who are experts in the field? How many coaches have you reached out to? What are you doing? What are you doing? Because action is a muscle. And I'm afraid that so many people today are dealing with action muscle atrophy. The second one is not only is action a muscle, but action takes movement. You see, you can't hesitate, because what happens when we hesitate, it leads us to procrastinate. And when we procrastinate, it leads us to have devastation. So hesitation leads to procrastination, which leads to devastation in your and my life. And so action takes movement. If you've ever looked at a stagnant body of water versus an active moving body of water, you see the difference. On a stagnant body of water, you'll have moss and mold and all kinds of nasty stuff growing because there is no action, there is no movement. But in a moving body of water, that doesn't happen. In a stream or a creek or a river or an ocean. Why? Because there's movement, there's action. You see, if you think about it, action involves and takes traction. And traction comes from movement, not just good intentions, my friend. Not just sitting still, but moving, You can't get traction without action. You have to have movement. You see, the question is, what is it today? What is it today that you've wanted, but you haven't gotten yet? I can almost guarantee you that it's due to a lack of action. I can almost guarantee you that. I can almost guarantee you that the reason you don't have what you're wanting out of life is because it's a lack of action in your life. And I don't want to see that for you, my friend. I want to see you have great results in your life. You see, don't wish for it, go for it. Don't sit around and wish for it. Today is St. Patrick's Day. It's the day of luck. I don't believe in luck. I believe in action. I don't believe in luck at all. I believe there's action. I believe there's action takers. And then there's those that grumble and gripe because they don't have. There's those that sit around. And I'm not knocking anyone this morning. I'm telling you why you're not finding success. Number 3, action comes from your mindset. Action will be the result of your mindset. There's 2 types of people in this world. First of all, there's the person who says, I need to feel good in order to do something. Second, there's the person who says, I need to do something in order to feel good. You see, the person who says that I need to feel good in order to do something, well, I don't feel like doing it. I don't feel that now's the time. I don't feel. You see, the problem is that they are, in essence, constantly waiting for their emotions to cause them to take action. And when it's that way, my friend, you will never take action because you're never going to feel like the time is right, feel good enough, feel strong enough, feel smart enough. These are limiting beliefs that stop us from progressing forward in our success journey. But the person who says, I need to do something in order to feel good, they realize that their actions will trigger their emotions. By doing the things that they need to do, they will realize that by taking action, it makes them feel complete. It makes them feel fulfilled. And that's what I want for you. You see, motion creates emotion. Now, you know that I'm faith-based, so let me give you some Bible for this because there's so many verses. I don't have time to share them all. But first of all, the Bible says in the book of James that we are to be doers, action takers, not just dreamers, doers of the word of God and not hearers only. You see, so often we'll hear something very motivational, very inspirational. We'll read something very motivating and inspirating to our life, very in tune with where we're trying to go. Maybe we did the research. Maybe we listened to the speaker on the podcast or the motivational YouTube channel. Maybe it was around the topic of how to do this. Maybe we took a course. Maybe we took a program. But here's the question I want to ask you today, my friend, is what are you doing with it? Because so many times we hear it, but we never do anything with it. The Bible also goes on to say faith without works is dead. Did you hear what I said? Works. Faith is believing. Works is taking the action to manifest what you believe. And God said faith without works is dead. As a matter of fact, the Bible goes on to say that show your faith through your works. says, let your faith be seen by what you're doing, by the action you're taking. The Bible instructs us on action in the book of Proverbs by comparing it to an ant. And it says, don't be slothful, don't be a sluggard, be like an ant that prepares their food without a king or a queen. In other words, I don't have to have anybody forcing me to take action. I take action because I know that it's going to create success in my life. You say, Jody, but I'm fearing failure. Don't let that mindset come in, my friend. You're going to fail if you never move. But if you move and you continue to grow, I promise you, you can't fail because you'll never lose because you're always learning. Let me illustrate it with a story. A man was walking through a forest when he saw a crippled fox. And he says, I wonder how it manages to feed itself. At that moment, a tiger approached carrying its prey in its mouth, and the tiger ate its fill and left what remained for the fox. Now the man began to be amazed at this, and he said, if God helps the fox, he will help me too. He went back home, he shut himself up in his house, and he waited for the heavens to open up and bring him food like the little crippled fox. But nothing happened. He lay there in his bed waiting for God to provide for him as God had for the fox, but instead he just starved. But he became so weak, he couldn't even go out and work. An angel appears to him, and the angel says to this man, he says, why did you decide to imitate the crippled fox? God has given you gifts and abilities to contribute to the world and make a living. He's given you a purpose. And while looking after the crippled foxes of the world, God's given you those abilities and that purpose. Get out of the bed, pick up your tools, and follow the way of the tiger. So let me ask you this one question today, my friend. Which are you at your stage in life right now? Are you the fox or are you the tiger? You see, taking action, my friend, is the thing. The one huge success tip I can give you, taking action is the thing that will make your dreams a reality once you begin. But the key is you have to begin. And I want to empower you. Take action today, my friend. Take action today and get started doing something. Don't be just a doer, a hearer. Don't be just a dreamer, but be a doer. This is the show, the Soulution Live Show, where we want you to have the rest of your life be the best of your life, taking you from struggle to success so that you can live your best. And I want you to know that until next time, be blessed, and I'm praying for your success. Have a great day, my friend. God bless.